Do you remember after that, like what you during your group projects usually go into the internship process where you start interviewing with different companies? Do you remember
Hmm.
that, what that was like?
Yeah, yeah, I liked the interview process was cool because I like that we got to see someone from the company come in and present, everything that they were about. It made that took a huge kind of weight off our shoulders, and it was easy to in the interview. It felt like, oh, I've already met this person, so it was a very relaxed. I think most of the interviews, I think I only had one that was super technical that we found out after that was their first experience giving interviews, so they didn't really know what to expect, and neither did we. So it's kind of a tough interview, but it's good practice either way. So to me, it didn't matter, but it made, I think, getting to know everyone first, and then when they came back for the interviews, for us, at least for me, it was easy to say, "Oh, I've met you before," and kind of know what their company is about from their perspective, not doing research and all that. So I actually like the interview process because it kind of goes back to that real world experience of not just saying, "Oh, I like this one. Okay, I'm here." Just one more piece of practice that we got to have before going into those internships. And we did a lot of interviews, so we got a lot of practice with that.
Yeah, it always surprises me that it's a learning experience sometimes for both the students and sometimes even the companies.
Yeah, yeah.
That we've been able to help a lot of companies learn how to interview better by going through the
Hmm.
process, which has been great.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the one I had that was very difficult. I think for them going into the next interviews wherever they may be would be easier for them to know, okay, these people didn't have a lot of experience. Maybe we should ask more of these style questions or this or that. So, yeah, super cool process. I like that part.
Great. And then you ended up interning at Programination.
Yeah,
How was that?
it was pretty awesome. Edison was kind of our mentor, and he runs the whole company over there. So it was all remote. Peter was actually in my group for the group project, and we ended up getting the same internship. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, it was really good from the beginning, and even going on afterwards, he ended up kind of staying around. And if I ever had questions about technical interviews or if I was working on my own projects, I could reach out to him, and we'd do like a Zoom meeting and do a screen share and all that stuff. And actually, when all the COVID stuff started happening, he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how's your family? How's everything going?" So we're still very much in touch, and it's been I feel super lucky actually that I got to be with him because he's been a huge help with everything during the internship, after job hunting. He's given me a ton of advice, so I got super lucky, I think, to get him.
That's awesome. That kind of mentorship is really key in your career path.
Yeah, at the beginning especially, I felt very fortunate to have him around.
That's great. Can you talk a little bit about what Programination does or what you did there?
Yeah, yeah. So they're more like a consultancy. So a lot of different projects, applications, websites, and everything they build. Kind of like you go to them and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And then they delegate that way. What our project was it was called Warship Planner. So it was kind of Edison's passion project that he had just never got around to doing. And it was Peter and myself, and then I think 6 or 7 other recent boot camp graduates from other boot camps around. So we all worked remotely as a team, and it was sort of a pass or fail, I guess you could say, that if by the end of the month we had gotten to kind of a beta MVP that he could start to use, we continue to work on it, and if not, then that would be it for us. Um, and we didn't quite get to where he wanted, but a lot of us um, he didn't keep around. Me and I think Peter as well. He kept as contract, so if he needed any small projects or whatever, he decided to keep us around. There wasn't really a lot for us to do, but kind of his, again, this is one of the things he helped me out a lot with, was he told us, well, getting into the industry is really hard. Leave me on your LinkedIn, on your resume, whatever. Tell them that you're still working for me. contract wise. And then, if they call me, I'll totally vouch for you guys and tell them about the project you worked on. So that again was a huge help, and awesome that he did that for us. And then we used, basically the app was for churches to use for their services. If you had, for example, a band coming to play, you could sign up. You had kind of like an admin side and a user side. So as a user, you could sign up for like lead vocals or guitar or keys, things like that. And then the admin would be able to approve you or reach out to different people if they needed someone to fill in on drums one weekend, et cetera. So it's kind of like a scheduling tool. Super cool. We used React for the front end. So coming out of the bootcamp, that was like awesome. And then Node, JS, and we used Express for the back end, which we didn't learn in the bootcamp, but it was JavaScript. So since it was JavaScript based, Peter and I mostly worked in the front end, but if we had to do stuff in the back end, it was super handy having that knowledge. So overall, a super good experience. We had our daily stand-up, and it was, like I said, it was all remote. So at that time, Peter and I were coming in still to the bill. I can't remember what it's called in downtown. WeWork, the
Oh,
co-working space there.
Union co-work.
Union, yeah. So we were going into Union, and we would pretty much be partner programming or working together on our tasks the whole day. And then the stand-up was pretty much identical even to what I'm doing now. Just what did I do yesterday? What am I going to do today? Any blockers, things like that. So overall, a very real, felt real, very applicable experience, and super awesome to have coming fresh out of the boot camp right away.
That's awesome.